Now, it's day 104. They haven't really grown this much since yesterday because I'm at a different end of the field. But they're definitely pretty tall now, these sunflowers. So, here's what I've been up to today. And remember, if you've enjoyed it, just share it and like it, and then at least other people can see it. Because if no one likes it or shares it, then Facebook doesn't show it to anyone and they can't even watch it then. So, there you go. New project's just arrived. It's a ex-mail delivery drag trailer off an Arctic. So we're going to cut the top off, sort the front out. There's a ramp inside that'll fold down. So we'll put a stand up here and we'll make it into like a 30-foot or 28-foot bale trailer. So I've bought two of them off eBay, but they weren't very dear. I think they're about 1,300 quid delivered. So we should end up with some cheap trailers afterwards. James is just tidying up around the bottom now with the mini digger. Cut the grass later. And we just decided we need another post in here, so I'm just putting it in now. These are these Clip-X posts for the like Y section. We've got these little clips on. They just hold the wire. So you just show you at the bottom here. You push it in this gap, pull it down, and that little cam springs round. It's got the wire in then, and it saves you having to knock staples all the way in. So it's dead quick. Just putting a finish in touches on the gate. Strange times. Just got to flatten the stone out a bit better as well. It's a bit lumpy. Andrew's brought the wood now for making a seesaw. Sam's just trimming the hedgerows in the gateway. We're not allowed to cut hedges this time of year because the bird's nesting. But if we check that there's none where we're cutting and it's a highway hazard, we can. So that's just what he's doing there now. Andrew's just making a wooden dog boat for the gate. We haven't got a jigsaw with us, so it's not easy. Haven't got a roller, so Adam's just tracking in the road planings to make it a bit firmer. Squashes up nice and tight, and when they're warm they set like tarpon again. And then Chris is here now with his little tractor, just mowing the field. It's a bit lighter because it's a bit wet underneath, so we didn't want to use the big one we used last time. Because the tyres on it have got cleats on it and make a mess. James is more than halfway around now, just levelling out the corners as well. So, slowly coming together. Just mowing a path now, but some good ones in the way, so we're just going to pull them out and hopefully replant them at the edge. So we've got a path up to the NHS sunflowers over there. Little tractor, big tractor, spade, drone. Who'd have thought you'd have needed all this technology to just grow some sunflowers? Anyway, hopefully it's going to look good. Chris is doing the detailing bits in the middle, and Adam's doing the heavier stuff with the big flail. Andrew and Sam are just neatening up the letters where they're a bit sparse on the edges. Drone now. Shadow. There, looks good that now, doesn't it? Spot on. Adam's just finishing off now. I'll put the full video on tomorrow from the drone, I think. It's getting late now, so I'll edit this one. I've got to put a bit of a thing on now about glyphosate that we use for spraying weeds. Julia Bradbury, the presenter off, I think she's on the Antiques Roadshow now, was sort of talking about it this morning on her Twitter, and she only knows half the story, so I set some facts straight on Twitter, and then I've sent her a video of it as well. So I'll put that on after this, and I'll see you all tomorrow. This is glyphosate, trade name Roundup. The only way I can possibly make it dangerous is by stacking them barrels really high and letting them fall on my head. It's been around for over 50 years now. It got demonised a few years ago when the World Health Organization said it could be a possible carcinogenic. Other possible carcinogenics by the World Health Organization include getting your hair cut, working in a hairdresser's, working a night shift, the smell of a new car, different things like that. It is no more dangerous than table salt. It basically is salts. It doesn't cause any harm to anything other than green tissue implants. Without it, we have to use lots of tillage to kill weeds. Lots of tillage releases carbon into the atmosphere. if we use glyphosate, we can put carbon back into the soil, which is great for carbon capture and carbon sequestration. There's a lot of people that demonise it because it's a chemical. Everything's a chemical. We're made up of millions of chemicals. Just please read up about it. Read up about the Portier papers, where some of the lawyers in America that were on a bit of a witch hunt against Monsanto to try and make a bit of money actually were paying scientists within the World Health Organization when they were coming up with their conclusions about it. It's got another 400 or 500 studies, proper scientific studies, not tin pot studies, saying how safe it is and how it's so benign. It should be celebrated. It should not be demonised, and people need to know more about it, really. So, Julia, if you're watching, give me a ring, please. Direct message me. I'll send you my number, and we can talk about it properly, because I don't want you sort of going off on a tangent and demonising something that's very important to protecting soil. It's what we owe our lives to, that top 6 inches of topsoil. And if it ends up in the rivers and the streams eroded, or we release all the carbon out of it, it's useless and it blows away. So with glyphosate, we don't need to do that. That's what no-till agriculture is all about as well. So please give me a call or a direct message.